We're here in Austin, Texas, a very cool city here, and it's the state capital of Texas. Let's head out and explore the beautiful city and check out some different cool things to see and do here. Hi everyone, Scott of the Scott Man. It is great to be back here in Austin. I was previously here 5 years ago, but I figured come back and check out some cool things to see and do here. So we're starting off here at the Texas State Capitol. The Texas State Capitol was built back in 1888 out of marble and granite. As a matter of fact, it is taller than the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. by around 14.64 feet. Austin itself was established as the capital of the Republic of Texas back in 1839, which was several years before Texas was annexed into the United States. Yeah, it's really cool, I have to say. But what's even cooler is that the state capitol is open to the public almost every day, so we can see some cool things inside too. Let's head inside the Texas State Capitol. As you can see here, we are standing in the rotunda of the Capitol. As we look up, we can admire the beautiful architecture of the rotunda as well as the dome all the way at the very top. Along the walls of the rotunda, you can also see different paintings of all the former governors of Texas, including Sam Houston. The Texas State Capitol is home to the Texas House of Representatives, as well as the Senate chamber for Texas. And another cool thing to do is if you go up to a higher level in the rotunda, you can look all the way down and you can even see the 6 flags or 6 emblems of Texas. Yeah, that was really cool. But what's also cool about the state capitol grounds, they get all these different monuments all throughout the grounds. Like, just for example, just take a look over here. This is showing the Tejano culture, or the soldiers who fought at the Alamo. Lots of cool stuff. And on our way into downtown along Colorado Street, that is the Texas Governor's Residence. It is the 4th oldest continuously operational governor's residence in the United States, and it's the oldest one west of the Mississippi. This has been where the state governor of Texas has had residence since 1856. So this is Congress Avenue. It's the main street which goes through Austin. But what's even cooler is that on the other side of Lady Bird Lake along Congress Avenue, there's the area of South Congress, which has a lot of cool shops. Let's head over there next. And welcome to South Congress. We're located along South Congress Avenue, almost due south of the state capitol over on the other side of Lady Bird Lake. And this is a very popular area because you have a lot of great shops and a lot of great restaurants, and it's also very artistic and trendy over in here too. So let's go explore the area. Well, I have to say, I love the vibes on South Congress. Very cool area. But there's some even more cool things in this video, so don't go anywhere. We're gonna head back into town next. And here is Austin's 6th Street. Like how Nashville has Broadway and New Orleans has Bourbon Street, this is Austin's equivalent. So down 6th Street, you got a lot of different bars and live music. And during the nighttime, this can get really, really packed. And it can even get a little crazy later in the evening. So I figured, why not film this now while there's still some daylight and it's not too chaotic. And not only that too, but all the buildings throughout 6th Street here are quite historic too. Especially compared to all the different skyscrapers that are still being built to this day. And over here on 6th Street is the Driscoll Hotel, a very historic hotel. And a little fun fact, back when Lyndon B. Johnson was president of the United States, he even had it was basically his own room the entire time he was the president, where if he wanted to stay there, he pretty much had a room guaranteed for him and for his wife, Lady Bird Johnson. And for what I was hearing from some Austinites is that some of the best bars and live music is not even on 6th Street. You have to go elsewhere outside. Like for example, further east on 6th Street, like east of Interstate 35 or down South Congress and many other different areas around the city. So yeah, so keep that in mind. We're looking for something really, really authentic. Alright, so I'm gonna basically conclude things for the evening. And I'll see you tomorrow to find some even more cool things to see and do here in Austin. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go get some food, and I'm filming a separate video on some different restaurants you can check out here too. So definitely check out that video. If it's not up yet, it will be soon. So be sure to click that subscribe button so that way you don't miss that video. And it's a beautiful new day, and we're gonna explore more of Austin, check out some even more cool things. So yeah, so what we saw yesterday was really cool, but some of the even cooler spots is when you go out to some of the many parks around Austin. Because as you go to the western part of Austin, you get out into the hill country a little bit. And a really cool area is the Barton Creek Greenbelt, where you got beautiful trails and it goes along the creek, and there's some really cool points of interest. So it's like we're building up in this video. So let's go for a little walk. So over here are the Twin Falls, although it looks like it's been very dry here lately, so there's no water flowing here, unfortunately. However, when I was here 5 years ago, there was water here, and it was a pretty cool sight. We'll continue on over toward like where Sculpture Falls are. And we made it to Sculpture Falls, and I'm glad that the water is still over here because it would have been disappointing if the waterfalls weren't in action right now, but this is really cool. But yeah, it's like with Austin, you got a lot of this beautiful greenery, especially out in the western part of the city and going out into the hill country. This was such a beautiful hike. This is one of the coolest things in Austin, by the way. That was a nice little hike.
But one of the highlights here in Austin, very cool thing to do. What's also cool is that the Greenbelt continues about 3 to 4 miles in toward Austin and heads over to Zilker Metropolitan Park. As a matter of fact, that's where we're heading to next. So let's head over there now. And one thing I'll mention before that is that, yeah, make sure not to have your valuables in sight when you're parked over here, because there have been known to be break-ins here. So one word of caution. All right, now let's head over to Zilker. And we have been over to Zilker Metropolitan Park. This is over at the very end of the Barton Creek Greenbelt, as the Barton Creek empties out into Lady Bird Lake over that general direction. We'll be heading over there in a little bit. But over here, you get this big open field. You got some volleyball fields, or volleyball courts, excuse me, and a really cool view of the skyline of Austin. And over here is the Barton Springs pool on a hot summer day. What's really cool about this swimming area here is that the water stays consistently cold. It's because the water here is spring fed, so even in the hottest times of the year, the water temperatures can stay in the 60s Fahrenheit. So it's a great place to cool off. And even in February, people are going for a swim too. Because again, it's like the water's not too cold or anything. And plus it's a little warm out today too. And even past the main swimming area, there's even people in the water here in the creek too, just over that way. So yeah, but kind of like what we were doing earlier, we'll continue walking along the Barton Creek in the direction toward Lady Bird Lake. Zilker Metropolitan Park has a lot of cool things, especially over here by the Barton Creek, where we also have a canoe and kayak rentals. And it's not just the Barton Creek, but you also have other cool things such as the Hillside Theater. You got the Zilker Botanical Gardens, you got the Austin Nature and Science Center, and also that big field that we saw at the beginning of Zilker Park is that especially in the big open field and in the park, which I forgot to mention, it's the oldest metropolitan park too in Austin, is that many festivals, including Austin City Limits, is held at Zilker Park. We have some very impressive views of the Austin skyline over here. So technically this is Butler Metro Park, because we're too far east for Zilker Metro Park is, but still you get some cool views of the city, and of course you got Lady Bird Lake where you can even see some people kayaking or canoeing on the river. Just gotta love it. And over here we have a statue of the legendary Stevie Ray Vaughan. Big time rocker who was out of Austin, Texas. Unfortunately, he passed away way too young. We got one more thing we're going to be showing in this video. We have to head over to Congress Avenue, the Congress Avenue Bridge that is, before we conclude the video. However, there is another cool viewpoint that's further to the west along the Colorado River, where you can get some really cool viewpoints. So let's head over there next. And here we are at the top of Mount Bonnell. I think it's pronounced Bonnell, but anyway, we get some spectacular views of the Colorado River. Although more specifically over here, this is Lake Austin. So it's in between Lady Bird Lake, which is the main lake in downtown Austin, and Lake Travis, which is the larger, or the largest of the lakes upstream. And we get some spectacular views of the whole area, and off in the distance too, we can even see the Pennybacker Bridge. There's even a cool overlook over there too, which I got to see 5 years ago. But yeah, this is a little side trip over here, and as you can tell, it's a different day because I ran out of time yesterday to come over here, but I wanted to come over here today before heading to the airport. So this is pretty much like the last thing I'm doing before I'm having to drop off my rental car and fly back to Michigan. But yeah, very cool spot with some spectacular views. Alright, so let's go back in time one day, and we'll head back over to the Congress Avenue Bridge. And here we are at our last stop in the cool things to see and do here in Austin. We're here at the Congress Avenue Bridge, which connects the downtown area of Austin with the South Congress area, which we were in earlier in this video. But we've seen a lot of cool things here in Austin. And the South Congress Bridge, or the Congress Avenue Bridge, the most famous thing about it is that usually between about like late March until like October, thousands of bats around sunset fly all around the bridge and underneath the bridge. It's a really cool sight. I've had such a great time here in Austin. Absolutely love it here. It's my second time here in Austin, and it's a really cool city. And it's like there's still so many cool things I haven't seen in Texas or seen in Austin yet. So I'll have to make another trip at some point to check out some more different museums, and because weather was too nice to go inside too many places except for the Capitol. But I'll be back someday to explore more of Austin. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video here in Austin, Texas. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that we know when a new video goes live. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out here with a cool view of the skyline of Austin. But really quick, I would like to give a huge thank you to my $10 patron, Ambient Occlusion, for all your great support. Thank you so much for all your great support.